KSmallz.
Haha, pretty funny. Okay, so, hey, Mama. So I don't expect many people to be here right now. There's other live streams going. I'm not really worried about it. I just wanted to get this out there. For the past couple days, I've been doing lots of research involving what's called MK Ultra. And if you all are not aware of it, some of you may be. Some of you that have followed my channel for a few years know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a certain case, I'm not going to give it away, but there's a certain case I'm looking into. I've been watching some interviews that I'm almost 100% certain that it does involve MK Ultra. Now, MK Ultra was or still is happening, and they can say that they're not, but they surely are. And it can happen through frequencies. It can happen through simply watching TV. It can happen through being on the computer. It's subliminally happening to where you're not even aware of it. Stuff can flash. Certain frequencies can pass through the brain, and we must always pray against this type of stuff. So there's certain things that people do to where you can look at them and notice by their actions. And we'll get into this a little bit later, but you can watch their eyes, for example, or you can watch certain movements within themselves, and just especially their actions. Like I said, I don't want to give it away just yet, but I'm going to be doing a series, and I want you all to pay attention. I'm going to do the first series. I'm going to do is I'm going to explain exactly what MK Ultra is, what to look for, and then once we're watching this, and more than likely I'm going to set up a live series so that you all can do it with me. I'm not going to watch everything by myself. I'm going to watch a little bit, record a little bit, maybe put out a video here and there. But I want you all to experience and be able to know what to look for in these scenarios, to where later on, maybe you can pick it up and reach out to me, and maybe we can work together and go over this. But it is a definite thing. Okay. I've got a tab open. Let's see if I can pull this up. Just to where, it's, let's see, share my screen here. Just to kind of give you an example of what we're talking about here. I've got YouTube chat up. StreamYard's changed a little bit since I've used it. There we go. All right. All right, let me go up here. I just needed to get an image. But, all right. So, I don't like to do Wikipedia, but I may have to do this. What other Whatever they program you to react will be used to activate you. That's correct. All right, so more than likely I'm going to do these episodes at 8 p.m. because the majority of my followers and my subs are on at that time. And that's what time I used to go live all the time back in the day. So we're going to do it around 8 p.m. Let's see. Project MK Ultra. Let's go ahead and just see what Wikipedia has. And, oh, it's in my font. Oh, love that. So Wikipedia, I don't like to use it just simply for the fact that anybody can edit it. See that little edit button? No, it's not a conspiracy theory. So MK Ultra redirects here. For other users, see MK Ultra. Not to be confused with Edwidge Arsenal human experiments. Project MK Ultra, also called CIA Mind Control Program. Let me make this just a little bit bigger for you guys. Is the code name given to a program of experiments on human subjects that were designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, some of which were illegal. Well, if you ask me, all of it should be illegal. Experiments on humans were intended to identify and develop drugs and procedures to be used in interrogations in order to weaken the individual and force confessions through mind control. The project was organized through the Office of Scientific Intelligence of the CIA and coordinated with the United States Army Biological Warfare Laboratories. Other code names for drug-related experiments were Project Bluebird and Project Artichoke. The operation was officially sanctioned in 1953, reduced in scope in 1964, and further curtailed in 1967. It was officially halted in 1973. The program also engaged in illegal activities. Well, what do you know? CIA and doing illegal activities. Who would have thought, right? Including the use of U.S. and Canadian citizens as its unwitting test subjects, which led to controversy regarding its legitimacy. MK Ultra used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions. Here we go in the techniques. Techniques included the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD. And I don't know if you all can, oh, great. I don't know if you all can actually see. I've got my YouTube chat up. Hold up. Make that a little bit smaller. I kind of zoomed in on it. You all might not be able to see that as well now, but all right. Where did I go? Aims and leadership, origin. Done lost my place. Really? Oh, here we go. Sorry. Techniques, here we go, included the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD and other chemicals, electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, as well as other forms of torture. We're talking about the CIA here. Used this type of things and used Canadians and Americans as test subjects. They are stating that it was halted in 73. I beg to differ. There are certain cases, certain events that have happened where you just know that this stuff has not been halted. Hey, Tammy W., how are you, hun? What'd she say? No coincidence. Right. I'm going to basically centralize around one particular case where my discernment has told me, yes, it's MK Ultra. You've got a perfectly normal human being that ended up being a mass murderer. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Good, honey. Appreciate that. You stay blessed, honey. So the scope of Project MK Ultra was broad, with research undertaken at more than 80 institutions, including colleges and universities. Now, I want you all to remember that right there, okay? Including colleges and universities, hospitals, prisons, pharmaceutical companies. That's another one I want you all to emphasize, okay? The CIA operated using front organizations, although sometimes top officials at these institutions were aware of the CIA's involvement. Project MK Ultra was first brought to public attention in 1975. Well, it was halted in 1973, so why would it need to be made public attention in 1975? Just wondering. By the Church Committee of the United States Congress and Gerald Ford's United States President Commission on CIA Activities within the United States, also known as Rockefeller Commission. If you all have followed my channel any little bit or done any type of research, okay, Rockefeller is a very powerful person, part of the elite, part of the illuminating ones. Okay, no, it was never halted, and that's why I'm going to, centralize around this one case. And then what we'll do is after this case, we're going to go on to others that I think that there's a possibility. One thing that you can just identify is the eyes. The eyes will go and they will wander. They will like bulge out. They will look around. It'll almost look as if the person is under some kind of psychotic, possibly pharmaceuticals, but they weren't like this before they did what they did. Okay. Hey, Shirley Graham. They went from completely normal people to doing, whether it be a mass murder, shooting, their whole family. It's something the public needs to be educated on. And I'm not saying I know everything. I'm still learning. I always say do your own research, because you're never supposed to trust any man. And as long as you do your own research and you see it for yourself, you tend to grasp it a little more. Now, listening to me is just going to help you want to further do your research. And this is a very interesting topic. This is something that once you start looking into, you're going to realize and listen and know that, hey, this is not some conspiracy theory. This is something that is still going on to this day. As of being halted in 1973, I don't think so. Tammy W., I live for the truth, and you're welcome. So, investigative efforts were hampered by CIA Director Richard Helms' order that all MK Ultra files be destroyed in 1973. The Church Committee and Rockefeller Commission investigations relied on the sworn testimony of direct participants and on relatively small number of documents that survived Helms' destruction order. In 1977, a Freedom of Information Act request uncovered a cache of 20,000 documents relating to Project MK Ultra, which led to Senate hearings later that year. Some surviving information regarding MK Ultra was declassified in July of 2001. December 2018, declassified documents included a letter to an unidentified doctor discussing work on 6 dogs made to run, turn, and stop via remote control and brain implants. Let me just repeat that, okay? December 2018, declassified documents included a letter to an unidentified doctor discussing work on 6 dogs made to run, turn, and stop via remote control and brain implants. Now, think about that for a little bit. Now, the intelligence, the technology that we have today, they say that we are actually 50 to 100 years behind as to what the elite actually have in our testing. So when was this done? Yeah, December 2018, these documents, but what date was this brain implant done? If it was halted in 1973, are you telling me that they already had brain implants in 73? A remote control. And that's exactly what MK Ultra is. It's some type of, that they give them this medicine or they're given this frequency to where they can control anything you do. For example, now this is not the case, but there is one case, another case that I think that was MK Ultra. Do you all remember that Uber driver a couple years back where he said an app on his phone made him go and kill? Like, he looked at his phone, he picked up his phone, and he was killing while still doing his Uber driving, and he made a statement that the app made him do it. I believe that was a form of MK Ultra. Yeah. Quote, Facebook killer. What was his name? Oh, shoot. Samson? The Facebook Live shooting. I'm sure you all remember that. That happened a few years back. I think that was also a possible MK Ultra. They can use I'm not saying they can use any of these apps, but that is actually a doorway for them to be able to control certain individuals. And I believe that they choose these targets for years in advance. And, you never know if you're going to be a target. But I will say this, it is demonic. Pray against it. And, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but princes and principalities, right? So that ought to tell you something. It's crazy how the Bible tells us the future, right? So let's see if it talks any more about those dogs having those brain implants. I think buses are coming. My kids don't get home just yet. Origin of cryptonym. The project's intentionally obscure CIA cryptonym is made up of the digraph MK, meaning that the project was sponsored by the agency's Technical Services Staff, TSS, followed by the word Ultra, which had previously been used to designate the most secret classification of World War II intelligence. Other related cryptonyms include Project MK Naomi and Project MK Delta. The origin of the project. According to author Stephen Kinzer, the CIA project was a continuation of the work begun in World War II era, Japanese facilities and Nazi concentration camps, on subduing and controlling human minds. Kinzer wrote that MK Ultra's use of mescaline, blah, 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 on unwitting subjects was a practice that Nazi doctors had begun in the Dachau concentration camp. Kinzer proposes evidence of the continuation of a Nazi agenda, citing that CIA's secret recruitment of Nazi torturers and vivisectionists to consider the experimentation on thousands of subjects and Nazis brought to Fort Detrick, Maryland. to instruct CIA officers on the lethal uses of sarin gas. Maryland. Sarin gas. Lethal. Come on, guys. It seems like the more we get into this, the more science fiction it seems, right? This right here is a letter wrote on June 9th, 1953. Sidney Gottlieb approved of an MK Ultra sub-project on LSD in this June 9th, 1953 letter. See if we can pull this up. Boston, August 13th is what it looks like. June 9th, 1953, looked like it was a draft. Memorandum for the record. Subject, Project MK Ultra, Subproject 8. Subproject 8 is being set up as a means to continue the present work in the general field of LSD at blah, blah, blah until, look at that. Look at that. Well, would you look at that? September 11th, 1954. September 11th. We all know what day that is. That's just kind of creepy. Sorry. This project will include a continuation of a study of the biochemical, neurophysiological, sociological, and clinical psychiatric aspects of LSD, and also a study of LSD antagonists and drugs related to LSD, such as LAE. A detailed proposal is attached. The principal investigators will continue to be blah, 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 all of blah, 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 blah. The estimated budget, here's the good stuff. The estimated budget of the project at blah, blah, blah is $39,500. Wow. Almost $40,000 back in 1954, okay? The blank will serve as a cutout and cover for this project and will furnish the above funds to the as a Bill Gates, wouldn't you like this? Check this out. Philanthropic grant. Philanthropy is what Bill Gates does, you guys. And he makes vaccines, and he's not a doctor. He's just a philanthropist. And he gets all kinds of grants for all kinds of stuff just because he says he's that. So this is their way around it, okay? So they got a I can't even say it, grant for medical research. A service charge of $790. 2% of the estimated budget is to be paid to the blank. I wish I could just see what this all was. I wish I could really unredact this stuff. It's crazy. For this service. Thus, the total charges for this project will not exceed $40,290 for a period ending September 11th, 1954. Blah, 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 director of the hospital, are cleared through top secret and are aware of the true purpose of the project. And the name's crossed out, but you have a signature here. Okay, so somebody signed it for this person who was the chemical division TSS. Same signature here. I can't make that out. Chief Chemical Division. Anything else? All right, let's go back. Sydney. Okay, so Sydney is that? Yeah. No. That's not his signature. I don't know who Sidney Gottlieb is. He was an American chemist and spy master, best known for his involvement with the CIA, 1950s and 60s assassination attempts, and mind control program known as Project MK Ultra. Huh. Well, would y'all look at that? CIA agents, 1950s and 1960s assassination attempts and mind control program. Well, it is. Well, that looks like an S, though. That signature doesn't look like a G. It looks more like an S. It could be a G, I guess. Sidney. Yeah, maybe that is his. Yeah, you're right. All right. The project was headed by Sidney Gottlieb, but began on the order of CIA Director Alan Dulles on April 13th, 1953. I keep having to go back to this date that it was halted. What'd they say, 1957 or 1973? Okay, got to remember that. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description and in the pinned comments so that you all can actually, do your own research. And when I come back, maybe you all can tell me a little bit of stuff too, because this is going to be a group effort. And when we go over this case, that way you all will be able to know what to look for. And I plan on doing most of this during live streams, but I may put up a video here and there. But this is what I'm going to be working on more than likely from here on out. Next month, I plan on restarting my memberships. If I do it sooner, I'll let you all know. But I don't feel like right now is the time for me to go ahead and do that. I'm just not all the way back into my channel yet. If you all can, the last video that I put up was a video for my friend that's in not so good health. Prayers are very well appreciated, and we ask for you all to pray for him daily, okay? If you can and are able to help financially, there's a PayPal and then also a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is up to a little over 15,000 now. So that's awesome, guys. Hey, Christy H. Hey, Willow. Shirley, Aaron, Cowgirl Up. Beautiful people. Nallie's Hope. 440, let's see. 402,000, 402. Let's see. 402. What number is that? I can barely see it. It's really small. Maybe I need glasses. 15-6, it's rituals. The 9/11 also, just a fast look. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Nallie's Hope. Nels W. Hope. I'm going to go ahead and just copy that, and I'll look into it later. I didn't mean to do that. Religious and spiritual responses. Okay. Thanks for that. So I'm going to go on for about maybe 10, 15 more minutes, and I'm going to cut this off. We'll go ahead and read some more of this, and I'm not going to tell you all the case yet. Hey, Simon, what's going on? That's the amount. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so Simon, what we're doing is we're going over, I'm trying to educate people on MK Ultra. I'm pretty sure you know of what I'm talking about. And there's a specific case that has already happened. He's already been sentenced. That was a very big case to the media. My discernment told me from the start that was an MK Ultra type government false flag. the more I research it, the more I look into it, you all, hopefully, in the end, will also agree with me. Now, I'm asking you all to do some research on MK Ultra as well, so that you all can see the signs related to MK Ultra, what to look for, their actions, and most notably, the crimes that they commit. Now, most of the crimes committed by an MK Ultra controlled slave, is what I like to call them, are horrendous, like movie type material stuff. Okay? Not just, and I'm not saying one crime's worse than the other. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like stuff you would only hear about in the movies. You know, stuff you could never even imagine somebody doing, but they do it. And that's part of the test, I believe. So the next live stream that I do, I will reveal the case, and I usually just wing stuff. I don't like planning stuff out. I don't like saying I'm going to do something sometime because I never know how I'm going to feel. Today's a good day. Okay, I feel really good today. I slept all night last night. I'm not in too much pain. The weather's like perfect. There's no rain. So not that you all care about any of that stuff, but just wanted to let you know. I go live when I feel good. I can't sit for long amounts of time, so I try to keep it at bare minimum an hour. And that's usually why I don't put my camera on, because I'm constantly standing up, popping this and that, and it's not a good look as far as being on camera. So that's why. Not that I'm worried about looks or anything like that. I could care less. But that's what I'm going to do. I want you all to look into some MK Ultra. Next live stream, I am going to let you all know what case we're going to go over. I'm going to show some clips. I'm waiting for a certain crime channel to get back with me. I've asked them for certain permissions on certain interviews, and we're going to go from there. So I'll probably go live sometime this week, give you all enough time to look over this and kind of just look for like MK Ultra symptoms, what to look for. You can even research certain crimes that have been, basically other people have thought that were MK Ultra. Give me some information to go by. But this is going to be really interesting, and you're going to be like wowed after we're done. And I'm sure I'm going to learn some stuff, you guys. But yeah, Christy H says, I've researched MK enough to have a moderate to medium understanding of it. It is inhumane. Yeah, it's very inhumane. Shirley Graham, Yeah, I care. I know what you're going through. Life can be hard, dear Kim. Take care of you. Thanks, Shirley. Appreciate you. So if some people have never heard of it, some people have. It's when you get into quote conspiracy theories, do you all realize that the CIA actually made up that term to deter people away from the truth? So they could just go back and say, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. Don't believe it. Yeah. So let's see. I've got a few more minutes. Where was I? Okay, so the aims and leadership. Its aim was to develop mind-controlling drugs for use against the Soviet bloc in response to alleged Soviet, Chinese, and North Korean use of mind control techniques on United States prisoners of war during the Korean War. But yet they used Canadian and U.S. citizens as test subjects? Yeah, I'm sure. That they may have had good intentions when they started it, but why were innocent citizens used as test subjects? And yes, it does work. The CIA wanted to use similar methods on their own captives and were interested in manipulating foreign leaders with such techniques. devising several schemes to drug Fidel Castro. It often conducted experiments without the subject's knowledge or consent. Yeah, that's all part of it. The person that they're doing it to has absolutely no idea and usually cannot remember anything during this process, whether it be a frequency, whether it be a flashbang of something, a subliminal message on the TV, or, just on the internet, pop up, go away. It happens so fast you don't even see it, but your subconscious grabs a hold of it. That's the thing. In some cases, academic researchers were funded through grants from CIA front organizations, but were unaware that the CIA was using their work for these purposes. So not only did the CIA use these test subjects without their knowledge or consent, but they also used other organizations as a front and did not even let them be aware that they were using their work for these purposes. Don't trust CIA, just saying. The project attempted to produce a perfect truth drug, for interrogating suspected Soviet spies during the Cold War, and to explore other possibilities of mind control. Subproject 54 was the Navy's top secret, quote, perfect concussion, end quote, program, which was supposed to use the subaural frequency blast to erase memory. The program was never carried out. Sure it wasn't. What did I just get through saying? Subaural frequency blast. Wow. And no, I didn't read this before I started this. It's just wow when you say something and then you read it. Okay. Yeah, it does sound nuts. It makes you sound nuts. Oh, listen to KSmallz. She's doing her conspiracy theories again. As God is my witness, I never plan to lie. Okay. I really do try to not lie. And if I ever tell you something that I found out later is a lie, I will own up to it and say, hey, I told you wrong. Just saying, I'm not perfect, but, I do try to do good. As far as lying, it's not in my little order book there. Most MK Ultra records were destroyed in 1973 when it was allegedly halted, right, by order of CIA Director Richard Helms. So it's been difficult for investigators to gain a complete understanding of the more than 150 funded research subprojects sponsored by MKUltra and related CIA programs. The project began during a period of what Rupert Cornwell described as paranoia at the CIA, when the U.S. had lost its nuclear monopoly and fear of communism was at its height. CIA counterintelligence chief James Angleton believed that a mole had penetrated the organization at the highest levels. The agency poured millions of dollars into studies examining ways to influence and control the mind and to enhance its ability to extract information from resistant subjects during interrogation. Some historians assert that one goal of MKUltra and related CIA projects was to create a Manchurian Candidate-style subject. Alfred McCoy has claimed that the CIA attempted to focus media attention on these sorts of ridiculous programs so that the public would not look at the research's primary goal, which was effective methods of interrogation. The scale of project. 1955 MKUltra document gives an indication of the size and range of the effort. It refers to the study of an assortment of mind-altering substances described as follows. Substances will promote illogical thinking and impulsiveness to the point where the recipient would be discredited in public. Substances which increase the efficiency of mentation and perception. Materials which will prevent or counteract the intoxicating effect of alcohol. Materials which will promote the intoxicating effect of alcohol. What? Okay, so you've got materials which will prevent or counteract the effect of intoxication of alcohol, and then materials which will promote the intoxicating effect of alcohol. Materials which will produce the signs and symptoms of recognized diseases in a reversible way so that they may be used for malingering, etc. Materials which will render the induction of hypnosis easier or otherwise enhance its usefulness. Substances which will enhance the ability of individuals to withstand privation, torture, and coercion during interrogation and so-called brainwashing. Materials and physical methods which will produce amnesia for events preceding and during their use. Physical methods of producing shock and confusion over extended periods of time and capable of surreptitious use. Substances which will produce physical disablement, such as paralysis of the legs, acute anemia, etc. Substances which will produce pure euphoria with no subsequent letdown. Substances which alter personality structure in such a way the tendency of the recipient to become dependent upon another person is enhanced. A material which will cause mental confusion of such a type the individual under its influence will find it difficult to maintain a fabrication under questioning. Substances which will lower the ambition and general working efficiency of men when administered in undetectable amounts. So it's so strong, it can be administered, but yet is untraceable. Okay? Remember that. Substances which promote weakness or distortion of the eyesight. Remember I told you about the pupils? Or hearing faculties, preferably without permanent effects. A knockout pill, which can be surreptitiously administered in drinks, food, cigarettes, and an aerosol, etc., which will be safe to use. Provide a maximum of amnesia and be suitable for use by agent types on an ad hoc basis. A material which can be administered by the above routes and which in very small amounts will make it impossible for a person to perform physical activity. Interesting. The 1976 Church Committee report found that in the MK Delta program, drugs were used primarily as an aid to interrogations, but MK Ultra / MK Delta materials were also used for harassment, discrediting, or disabling purposes. I've got about 2 more minutes. Other related projects. In 1964, MK Search was a name given to the continuation of the MK Ultra program. MK Search program was divided into 2 projects dubbed MK Often / Chick WIT. Funding for MK Search commenced in 65 and ended in 71. The project was a joint project between the U.S. Army Chemical Corps and the CIA's Office of Research and Development to find new offensive use agents with a focus on incapacitating agents. Its purpose was to develop, test, and evaluate capabilities in the covert use of biological, chemical, and radioactive material systems and techniques of producing predictable human behavioral and or psychological changes in support of highly sensitive operational requirements. By March of 1971, over 26,000 potential agents had been acquired for future screening. That's a scary number, you guys. The CIA was interested in bird migration patterns for chemical and biological warfare research. Subproject 139 designated bird disease studies at Penn State. MK often was to deal with testing and toxicological transmissivity and behavioral effects of drugs in animals and ultimately humans. MK Chickwit was concerned with acquiring information on new drug developments in Europe and Asia and with acquiring samples. That must have had to deal with the birds. MK Chickwit, or Chick-W-I-T, whatever it is. Experiments on Americans. And that's the little cliffhanger. We'll continue on that one later. So the next live stream will continue this, and I'll have some more stuff to add to this. Now, if you all want to participate, please, I'm giving you 2 things to do. Look at the MK Ultra symptoms, okay? Like physical symptoms, and look up possible cases where MK Ultra was used. I'm not talking back 73 and before either. Now, you can. Now, remember, it did say it was also a part of CIA assassinations, right? When was Kennedy assassinated? It was before 73, just saying. Yep. Let's go back to the screen. Let me play with this a minute. Any questions or comments, guys? I'm going to open the chat. Let me do this real quick. Okay. Questions, comments, and then we're going to end it. Michelle Hathaway, hey. You can watch a YouTube vid of victims suffering during their LSD experiments. Yes, that is pretty old. And to think they released that and it's like, oh, hey, watch these test subjects. You know, let's ask them what they're seeing, what they're doing, what they're thinking. And it's all part of the same type of tests. You know, LSD. Wasn't that like in the 60s, 70s? No, I don't think it was 70s. I'm thinking 50s, 60s, something like that. Of course, when MK Ultra was active, right? Before 1973 halted, right? Yeah, they never stopped it. They named it something else. And it's still the exact same thing. And let me tell you, once I show you all this case, you all are going to look at it in a completely different aspect. I think part of me wants to think, yeah, they want us to know. But like when you're talking about the FFs, which, somebody can type that in the chat, what I mean when I say FF, YouTube censors so much. I don't like to say that word, but, when a governmental FF happens, my thinking is it's another form of MK Ultra used in order for that FF to be carried out. Okay. It's very, very interesting once we get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. The meat and potatoes, guys. Truths are being revealed, and it's certain what's the word I need? Certain little drops here and there, droplets. I could have talked about this long time ago, but I never felt led to actually talk about it. I like to be guided and basically told what I'm going to do next. It just comes to me. And if I feel led to talk about it, I have to talk about it right then and there. I didn't plan on going live today, but I've already been the last 2 days been looking into this. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let them know I'm going to go live. I'm going to give them something to do. And then when we come back, when I go live again, which I'll probably try to schedule it. Now, if I don't schedule it, that's because I don't know how I'm going to feel. Like, I want to go ahead and schedule it again for tomorrow. But like I said, I never know how I'm going to feel. So, Wednesdays are, let's see, the kids are home on Wednesdays. I may do it Friday during the day. That's enough time. Thursday morning, I will be on Airborne Saints channel at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I shared it on my community post, so you all can come over there. We're going to have a good chat there. So make sure you join us over there. Airborne Saint, description. I can go ahead and leave the link in description in the comments and in the description box here too. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live. Go ahead and see, and maybe you all can guess at what case I'm talking about. Okay, it's happened in between the years of 2010 and 2015. I'll give you that much. When we go live next, see if you all can guess what case you think I'm talking about. And whoever guesses it right when I go live, we'll do a $25 PayPal, okay? I'll give $25 to the person that can think about it. Involves a man. It involves the Northwest states from the dates of 2010 to 2015. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end. Much love, guys.